Hello and welcome. You are my Urbit friend because you know Hawk. I'm Ben Brown. This is the final video of the behind the scenes of Beyond Beginner Guitar. If you're lost, go and find the introduction video for the series because Hawk needs no introduction. I've been playing with Hawk since the first video I made about it almost a year ago. I've even put a full-blown guitar course business inside it. Let me show you how to get a little more use out of your Hawk. If you have questions about what you see in the video, go ahead and make a comment. If you have questions about Hawk in general, you should go to the Hawk group on Urbit. That's where the good stuff is. I will also make a plug for my guitar course. There's a link in the description to join the waitlist. There's a waitlist because I don't know how many people can get in before it sinks my ship. Okay, let's drop into what I recorded before. Let's go over Hawk. Here's the Hawk thing. This is an app on Urbit, and I will show you some neat things. Hawk gives you a namespace. So this is like your files and folders, and every one of these generates HTML, essentially. It can create pieces of HTML, pieces of a web page. You can compute with those things and pull them in and manipulate them, put them in a namespace and then compute over that namespace, and the end result is a web page. Very neat. In that sense, I have Beyond Beginner Guitar. I have its random thing that's hiding it, my secret URL stuff, and then I have all of my lessons sitting in the namespace here. Inside one of these pages, I have this code. So this code, whenever I save it, it generates this web page. This one is kind of extra complicated. This part will probably look less scary. So notice like it's just markdown, like less than 3 chords, intervals is bold, and then I have I put a horizontal line here. This is basically HTML. It's no different than this, right? Nice little text editor right here. I am looking at the page that I am editing. It's so good. Okay. Here, let me show you this. Bam. Okay. There we go. This is a little editor literally next to the thing that I'm making. So I made a change, hitting save, and then like it's building it up right there. It's so cool. Yeah. The HTML. This is like a table. So if you were to look at HTML in that way, it just generates a table. But not bad, huh? Here's a more advanced thing if you already know Hawk. So how am I getting this embed? So I could make an iframe, put it in there. And in fact, that is what it is. It's an iframe. But the thing that creates it is this line right here. I can show that by deleting it, which is making my heart race a little bit. Hawk is not always forgiving. So we can kind of work this stuff out. Like you can ignore marks and join here. This kind of means I have a list of things. Here's the first thing in my list. I'm calling it a Manx, and that's basically XML or HTML. And what it ends up being is this back button. So this back button link, right? And so this is the first thing on my list. It's on the top. The next thing on my list is call, and it's going to a part of my namespace, Beyond Beginner Gen Vid. It's delivering some stuff and then bringing it in. And then the next thing in my list is this markdown like stuff that makes the words of the page. Following, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Yeah, the thing that brings these things together is labeling it as join, and then this is a bunch of like labels. Like you can see div class, but that's too complicated. Okay, so to dive in on this call, so Manx is like the just making HTML stuff and labeling it that. I'm labeling this thing a call. And so what it's going to do is grab at path this thing. You can kind of ignore gas card, but it takes this thing called a card. It has an ID, and it has, hey, look, text. And this, if you could guess it, that is a YouTube ID. And so let me show you what happens. The call goes over to this part of my namespace. Let's go find it. Beyond Beginner. Well, I didn't need to click on that. Beyond Beginner, Gen. Underneath Gen, I have vid. If you look in here, it's just a blank YouTube embed. And this is the code that creates it. Don't get too alarmed by this. There's an iframe right here. And this is what creates this embed over here. It's also wrapped in a div, which is not that wild. There's some utility classes over here that are doing some things behind the scenes. But for the most part, you can see it's like, here's the iframe, and it has a source. What's neat about this is like, you know, I go through like an embed that does no cookies. So like that's nicer because, you know, YouTube isn't giving somebody a window into their personal YouTube and recommending them all kinds of different videos. In the URL, I insert a little variable called v, and guess what that is? That is right here, and that is my video ID. So it's got this label /ID, and then I give it another label because I wanted to confuse you, I guess, and then that gets like put in. There's another one called start that gets turned into S, and then that gets plugged in as a kind of like an extension. I'll get into that, but what's happening is when I run that call, I have a thing called ID. And what happens is this code gets grabbed out of the namespace, and you insert, hey, here's the thing called ID, and here's the text. It's text, and it's this. And it's like, okay, cool, now I can grab that, and I can continue running my code using that, and so it just plugs in that text. So then you end up getting, you know, YouTube no cookies embed / the video that you want. So I do this throughout the guitar course. Like lesson 1 has some extra, like there's like 3 minutes that like nobody needs to listen to. And so I have this call where I call the exact same empty embed, and I give it the it looks like I learned something new at Hawk, a new way of putting it in. But the ID for that one is this video. And I can also give it the label like, hey, also on the start, I'm going to give you this number, and it is 183. And so 183 means, boom, whenever you start the video, it actually starts it like 3 minutes in, 185 seconds in. Neat. Over here, we also have this, the virtual guitars under construction. I got this like little demo. It's like, wouldn't this be awesome if it was real? This is being grabbed. We can see the exact same scenario hit here where we've joined together a bunch of things. We've got the back button. We have the video, the markdown below, and we also have this view. And so we're going into the namespace and we're viewing the result of the code that is put there. So a call is like interacting with the code, and it's going to enter a card to get something else out of it. This one is just a pure, like, just give me what the result of it is. And it comes out with this. And let's go back to lesson 3. Since lesson 3 is missing it, I will put it inside the list, view guitar, blah, blah, and there it is. If I go to guitar, that's it. There's the code, which is like pretty neat. That's for another time. But I also have, oh look, under here I have other guitars. Looks like I got ChatGPT 5 to help me out a little bit. What do those look like? Well, heck, let's go update the Beyond Beginner Guitar course right now. Do it live. I know that there is a better guitar here. So underneath guitar, I also have ChatGPT 5 19 version. Save that sucker. And whoa. What's this? Oh my gosh, hover technology. So yeah, I have this virtual guitar. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna work the first time. Listen to this. This thing works. Pretty neat. I've been working on that. more recently. So this is the first like actual version 1 of this virtual guitar. This was a dream for a while that I would have the lesson, and if something sparked their interest, I can just fiddle around with it right there. And here's something I hadn't really talked about, but it's like it's also mobile friendly. Hawk is mobile aware, and it does a really good job of light and dark modes. And like this edit button, you can actually pull up this edit stuff in the phone, and like it's not the most convenient thing to edit with, but when you're on the move and you're like, man, I misspelled that. You don't have to go find a computer or anything. You just hit the edit button and like change it right there. Like it's so awesome. Hey, thanks for watching my video. I think with this group, I can tell you a little secret. I just started a second YouTube channel called mocwyl. No promises, but if I find that I can't help but make a video about Urbit, I'm 90% confident it's going over there. You're absolutely my audience, so go ahead and subscribe to mocwyl. My name is Ben, and happy holidays.